Okay, so today we are talking about dividing with multi-digits, but we have a decimal in both the dividend and the divisor. And so we want to find out what happens. Our answer needs to be to the nearest tenth. And if we remember about our decimal, we have our tenths, hundredths, and so on. So if we want our answer in the nearest tenth, that means that we are going to have one number after the decimal in our answer. But we will need two numbers after the decimal when we do our calculations just to figure out what happens to our tenths place. Okay? All right, so let's go on and write our problem out. We have our dividend, which always goes in. And our divisor goes outside. Okay? And so now what happens is, remember, we only want to work with whole numbers. But I noticed that we have one outside and we have one inside the house. So let's start from left to right. And what will happen is we're going to move this decimal. We've already talked about it before. We have to move this decimal as many times as we need to make this a whole number. So if we move this one place, that becomes 23. And then whatever we do to 1, we have to do it when we get inside of the house. So we go to where our decimal is currently, and we're going to move that one. And remember, it's going to always sit up top, so it won't just stay there. So we've moved it one place and set it on top. So what this looks like now, once we clean it up, it looks like we have 23 for our divisor. And our dividend is now going to be 18962, so 18,962. And our decimal is in between the 6 and the 2. Okay? And then you go on and do our division the way we always have, using our 4 family members. So division, multiplication, subtraction, bring down, and then repeat. Daddy, mommy, sister, brother, and Rover. Okay? All right, so 23 cannot go into 1. It cannot go into 18, but it can go into 189. And so 23 can go into 189 8 times. So we have 8 times 23, which gives us 184. We're going to subtract those two numbers. We're left with 5, and then we bring down the next number, which is a 6. 23 can go into 56 2 times. 23 times 2 gives me 46. If I subtract those two, I'm left with 10. Then I bring down the next number, which is a 2. So now I have 102. So 102 divide into groups of 23, I think 4 times. You can go 4 times. So 23 times 4 is 92. Subtract that, I'm left with 10. But remember, I need two numbers after the decimal to find out what happens to my tenths place. So I have to add another 0, bring it down. And then 23 can go into 100 4 times. Okay, 4 times 23 is 92. And I'm left with 8. But I have two numbers after the decimal, so I am good. So when I look at my tenths place, I have to look at my right-hand man to see what happens to him. Okay, and my number next to my tenths place is not 5 or more. So my 4 will stay as it is. So my quotient would then be 82.4 for my answer. Oh, my marker's going out. 82.4 is my answer to the nearest 10. Thanks for watching.